What's going on, lucky gamers? We're talking about Vila today. Should you summon? I know I should have had it earlier, but I had my birthday, my daughter's birthday, all of that stuff to do, and so now we are here. And this video is not going to be too long because honestly, it's a pretty easy, quick question. This isn't going to be my guide video. I'll make a guide video later. And here's the thing, okay? There's going to be a couple of things that I'm going to say and talk about on Vila that'll help you determine if you want to get her or not, okay? First things first, Vila, she obviously benefits mental damage characters more, and that's going to be mainly Marcus, Melania, Calabana, and Windsong are going to want to be with her more, right? Because they are single target bursters, and they're hyper carries in their team. Hyper carries meaning the whole team is made to buff them, right? Because Vila is only buffing up one character, and with them being mental damage characters, they'll get 30% crit rate and 40% crit damage with them being mental damage, right? If you're wanting to go for the reality damage characters, they can help. Spaladia can work really good with her. You could do Joe as well. Characters, Lucy in the future. Those are characters that on their teams, they're just being buffed up solely as the only one that you're really worried about, right? Tooth Fairy fits better for teams that you want to use 37 in, because those are more AoE focused teams, right? Where you're having a DPS and a sub DPS, and 37 just fits better with Tooth Fairy, just to be honest. That's just is what it is, because she puts a debuff on everybody. Everyone can help, because 37 is depending on other characters. Same thing as a character like Regulus. Regulus isn't really a hyper carry type of character, right? So anyways, and I will say this, is Vila worth getting if you already have a Tooth Fairy, if you already have a Guinea, if you're already, you know what I'm saying, like if you're planning on getting Kakani and stuff like that? The thing is that if you already have your Tooth Fairy, maybe she's P2 and she's already invested, you could say, sure, I don't want to get Vila, but on the other hand, healers are so few that you might as well get Vila, because like if you're ever wanting to get a mental damage character literally in the future, Vila will give a bigger buff for that character. And especially if that character likes to have cards that are leveled up, like Marcus and Windsong, then they will give a bigger buff than what Tooth Fairy can do. Now, while yes, Vila does use a lot of AP, depending on how you use her and trying to keep the uptime of her buff, right? But she gives a huge power buff to those characters. If you do like the passiveness of Tooth Fairy, then you could definitely skip on Vila. Vila, I like her because she's a little bit more active. I can see when her buffs are active. I can use them exactly when I want them. With me not having a P2 Tooth Fairy, the baby teeth just always happens when I'm not really doing DPS, because the way I play with hyper carries, and so I take one turn to buff up, and then I do a bunch of damage on the second turn typically, right? Some people, they attack every single turn, which to some of you are like, well, that's how you win. Depends on the characters you have, right? 37 and Joe are characters that just want to attack every single turn. They don't really need any like setup or anything like that. They just attack, right? You could also say the same argument for Marcus, but obviously Vila just puts the buff up on Marcus, and then she's just able to actually have some crit rate. But again, when I'm playing characters like Spaladia, if I'm playing any other DPS type characters like Black Dwarf, or if you're playing Melania, you're doing a little bit more of a setup to prepare for some burst, right? And that's just why I prefer Vila. Of course, now I've moved on to Kanya because of my investment in her, but that's a side story. So if you want Windsong, if you want Marcus, then you want to get Vila, because those are characters that could really benefit. And any other character in the future that benefits from having leveled up cards. If you plan on getting Mercuria, Mercuria is for characters that like that, like Marcus and Windsong. So you also have that too, with Vila being the perfect healer. Tooth Fairy just isn't really that for them, okay? So, but like literally, they've only had, of last year in CN, 2 healer characters. So grab the healer characters, okay? Like, they're very, very rare. So that's pretty much all I have to say. Like I said, it's going to be a quick video. My vote is to pull the character. If you have a reason to not pull the character, then I'm assuming it's just because you just want to you just want to ride out with only your Tooth Fairy and probably your Yinny or your Balloon Party or your DK, and that's fine. But I wouldn't advise it. I would say pull Vila is more important than the DPS characters to me, because it's just really hard to get a healer. You could always get a DPS. But anyways, that's all I have to say. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Like the video, sub up to the channel. I appreciate you guys. Anyways, I'm Lucky Lux. You lucky gamers. Have a good one. Lucky Lux out.